I'm still thinking about free will, and I'm just trying to think, is there a way of making a completely Newtonian system, a system of billiard balls for example, is there a way of making that system behave in a way that simulates something that looks and perhaps intuitively feels like free will in action? So I'm just imagining, you know, a billiard ball on a billiard table, and you hit it with the cue. It rolls across the table and drops into the pocket. Now if you get it just right, it'll roll to the pocket and then it'll just like hang there for a second, and then it'll either fall forward into the pocket or it'll just stay there, it'll just stop, it'll just hang on the lip. So there's those two possible options from the outcomes of this action. It could fall into the pocket or it could hang on the lip. Then what you would do is you would build into the ball itself, you build a piece of technology into the ball which kind of recorded the movement profile when you made it, so that the ball registered the force of the impact of the cue. It registered the speed at which it rolls across the table. It registers the rate at which it decelerates, and then it registers it's either falling over the lip or it's staying on the edge of the lip at the pocket. So it kind of records that information as kind of behavioural profiles. And you do this a couple of times and it records a series of behavioural profiles. And let's say it gets one set in which that profile is of the action resulting in the ball going into the pocket, and then another set of profiles which record it as just kind of sitting there on the edge of the table and not getting in the pocket. What you've kind of created in the ball there are simulations of what can happen to it in the future. You know, when it's hit by the cue, one of two things can happen, broadly speaking. It can go in the pocket or not, and these things are simulated in the form of behavioural profiles in the ball itself. Okay, then what you do, you build another device into the let me see if this would work, hold on a sec. Yeah, you build another device into the ball which allows it to give a live readout of its behaviour at the moment, compare it to its profile, and then announce the comparison, make a prediction about which profile, which future it's going to end up in. So you clout it with a certain amount of force with the cue. The ball compares that pressure with with its range of profiles that it's got built into it, and maybe announces that it's a close match with the profile that ends up with it in the pocket. So maybe it hasn't got a little voice. It says, "I'm going in the pocket. I'm going to go in the pocket." Then it rolls along the table a bit, but either it's not rolling as fast, or the deceleration rate is quicker, maybe because of external forces. You know, maybe the table's tipped a bit, or the temperature's changed, or something that's made a small difference. And so instead of this profile matching the end result of it being pocketed, it starts to match the end result of it being on the lip. It starts to look more like that kind of a profile. So the ball at that point says, "I'm going to end up on the lip," and then a bit further on, the profile match switches again. "I'm going in the pocket," and then it switches again. "I'm going to end up on the lip." And what you get is this little ball rolling across the table, apparently changing its mind as it went towards the pocket, making different kinds of predictions about what were going to happen to it. Some of which would, you know, of course, only one of these things can happen. It's a highly constrained choice, but only one of them can be realised. But when it gets to the right to the lip itself, of course, it starts to converge on a particular profile. It's bound to. The future starts to be written very, very large within as a match for one of these behavioural profiles. And at that point, the ball says, "Yes, yes, I'm definitely going in the pocket. I'm definitely going in the pocket," and it goes in the pocket. Of course, the ball hasn't got a brain, it hasn't got a mind, it hasn't got anything like free will, it hasn't got intentionality, but it's doing basically what intentional agents do when they seem to be making choices and seem to be exercising their wills. They're announcing matches between the behaviour that they're engaged in and some possible simulated future. think there's some evidence to suggest that's possible. I mean, we certainly do make predictions. You know, our sensory motor system does that. And I know there's quite a bit of evidence from a field of study called motor cognition that a lot of our thought processes, the way that mentation works, is exactly as a result of the fact that we are motile. Sorry, I just got to stop here. Look, in the middle of a field, look, the middle of a field, right? And there's a stone, and it's got a picture of a footballer on it. Now, how the fuck did that get there? Anyway, sorry, that's a real distraction. Yeah, so we know that our sensory motor system does that. It makes predictions about the future and awards them values, and we say we make decisions based on those simulations. But if we're anything like billiard balls, it's probably more accurate to say that we're announcing the match of our current behaviour with one or other of these simulated futures.